Sometime in the 17th century, a Spanish galleon was traveling south along the east coast of North America. Among the cargo on the ship were ponies that were intended for colonies in South America. Those intentions were not fulfilled because those ponies never made it to South America. Driven off course by a storm, the ship ran aground onto a sandbar where it eventually sank. The ponies escaped into the wild onto nearby Assateague Island, where their ancestors have continued to live in the wild for hundreds of years. I live just a few hours from Assateague Island, and although I've never been, I know that visiting the National Wildlife Refuge there to see the ponies has become a popular event. And what kind of wildlife photographer would I be if I never tried to photograph the wild ponies myself, right? With a sense of adventure in mind, my girlfriend and I planned a short trip to try our luck. Okay, so if you ever get a chance to visit Assateague Island, there are many local boat tours that will take you on a water safari to go find the ponies. We had one scheduled on the first evening, which meant we had some time to kill in the morning to explore the island and find some wildlife. Our room was in neighboring Chincoteague, but the island was just a quick drive across a small bridge away. Our first stop was a small wildlife hiking loop. The morning started off strong. We were greeted on the trail by a deer, but the real excitement for me began when I spotted my first bird. But what was it? It turned out to be a cattle egret, a lifer for me, and a bird that I embarrassingly had never heard of before this trip. After this encounter, we hurried along to take shelter in the car. Even South Africa did not prepare us for the sheer number of mosquitoes that were swarming us on the island. Our shirts were covered in a sheet of them, and they were biting through our treated clothes. We needed a break. But if you know me, you know that I can't sit still for long, so after a little rest, I was out and photographing more egrets. Assateague has a lot of egrets. In fact, this next one is a great egret. And then, of course, we had the snowy egret to complete the set. Notice the black beak and the different plumage. Also, I know it's easy to overlook gulls, but I don't live in a coastal town, so these laughing gulls were still pretty novel to me. To top the morning off, though, I happened across another new lifer for me, this time a bird called a clapper rail. These birds love to run around in salt marshes, making Assateague the perfect habitat for them. I had to bid this little fella farewell though, because it was time to eat dinner and get on that boat. We were incredibly fortunate to see the ponies right by the water. Our guide told us that not every group gets so lucky. And as it turned out, the ponies were just one highlight of the tour. We saw a bald eagle, tricolored heron, American oystercatcher, and more, and this was all as the sun was beginning to set. Now, I probably don't have to convince anyone that it's hard to beat a sunset on the water. Of the few things that can top that, I'd say though that dolphins on the water at sunset will do the trick. Alright, hey, thanks for watching everyone. I'm scuttling out of here. I'm getting close to 1,000 subscribers, so please hit all those YouTube buttons if you like this video, and see you next week.